Do you need, want, or desire explicit matter and you've been trying to quit, but it's very difficult for you to leave it behind? I'm Dr. Trish Lee, and we are 3 weeks out from No Vice November. This November, we're giving up explicit matter and we're on a journey, a personal transformation journey from a place of lack to a place of thriving. So if you need, want, or desire something, all three of those things come from a place of lack. So whether you know it or you acknowledge it or not, you're lacking something in here and in here. And we're going to figure it out so that you can leave explicit matter behind forever. So the question is, what are you lacking? Perhaps you're lacking healthy sexuality and healthy intimacy and connection. Perhaps you're lacking money, just pragmatically speaking. Perhaps you're lacking fulfillment or purpose. We're going to get to the bottom of it so that you're no longer in a place of lack. So let's dive into the concept of number one, need. So the definition of need is that you require something. So if you need porn or sexual media or acting out sexually in a hypersexual way, whether that be with the screen or in real life, there is a physiological requirement at play here. So we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that there is compulsion and addiction at the core of explicit matter. It's highly addictive. What that means is that your brain changed most likely a long time ago so that you require higher levels of dopamine than if you never started consuming explicit matter in the first place. So think about that. A need is a requirement, a physical requirement for higher supernormal levels of dopamine for your brain because your brain has changed due to exposure and frequent and consistent going back to explicit matter. So you actually have a physiological need that needs to be met. And this is important because giving up a habit is hard enough. It's challenging enough, but leaving an addiction or compulsion behind, that's next level stuff. So last week we talked about planning, preparing, and reducing. Right now, you should have spent the last week reducing your explicit matter consumption by 25%. Hopefully, you're rocking that out and you're going to move forward into 50% for this next week because your brain has a need for high levels of dopamine from explicit matter. So let's recognize that, but let's also recognize that through the beauty of neuroplasticity, your brain can change and heal itself if it's pushed in the right direction. So neuroplasticity doesn't necessitate in any certain way that your brain will heal. What it says is that your brain will chase down the reward. You've been giving your brain the reward of high levels of dopamine from explicit matter. Through No Vice November, we're going to switch that. We're going to give your brain healthy levels of dopamine for pleasure, serotonin for joy, and oxytocin for connection from your life. We have to relink your brain to your life. But what I want you to know is right now your brain needs high levels of dopamine from explicit matter, but it won't always. That can unwire as you rewire your brain to a healthier state. So number two is the idea of wanting it. I want you to recognize you may still want it. Many people still want porn and explicit matter when they decide to give it up. It's very difficult to give up. So through this No Vice November journey, I'm giving up drinking and I'm giving up rushing, both two things that serve me really well. So the idea is I love to go out with my friends on Friday and Saturday night, usually one or the other. We hang out. It generally involves a cocktail or two, even though thankfully all my friends are giving up drinking. So it makes it a lot easier for all of us to do together. Community, we'll talk about that in the future. The idea is that we're accustomed to meeting for dinner and a drink. So I can't meet them for dinner and a drink right now because I want to. It's very fun for me. But internally, what is the lack? What's the thing I actually am looking for? You know how I said there's a lack at the core of this. The lack is the social connection after a long week of working really hard and parenting really hard. My weeks are really busy and I'm always serving other people. That's the reality. So on a Friday night, I'm looking for someone to serve me something so I can relax. That is the lack that I'm trying to fill. So, where the problem lies, so does the solution. I need to have that lack filled in a healthy way. So, ways that I can do that is by going to dinner with no cocktails, but that might be too close to what I'm doing right now. Other ways that I can do that is I can go have healthy services that make me feel good, but they don't involve consuming. So that's the idea that I want you to think about right now is you probably still want porn. You probably still want to consume explicit matter because it makes your brain feel good. So don't kid yourself that you don't want it, but commit anyways to giving it up because you know that it's not serving you and it's keeping you back from reaching your full potential. So, what is the lack you think that it's serving? Really think about it. Write it in your journal. You should get a journal going for No Vice November when we get there on November 1st. Get one now and get accustomed to writing these things in it and drop it in the comments. And of course, we're getting committed to No Vice November. Drop a red X, just like you see on the cover of my new book that's coming out next March, Mind Over Explicit Matter. Drop a red X in the comments so we can commit to No Vice November. Now, recognize that want, but commit to staying away from it because it's holding you back. Now let's go to the idea of desire. Desire includes those urges and cravings that you feel. So when you feel that desire inside, we know that desire is the wanting for something because you feel like you need it. All of these three things are combined. So it's the strong feeling of wanting, urge or craving. But this is really what that urge and craving is telling you. It's telling you you want dopamine first and foremost, because we know back in the need, your brain has been linked to high levels of dopamine. And in the early stages of No Vice November, your brain is going to want dopamine from sexuality in any way it can get it. It's been linked. We have to unlink it. But it's also that lack underneath. And the wanting, if you figure out what you're lacking, because ultimately at the end of this journey, I don't want you to lack anything. I want you to get all your needs, all your wants, and all your desires fulfilled in healthy ways. That's what we're doing here. So when you have an urge or a craving, it's usually about stress or boredom, because we know scientifically your brain's been linked to the screen or to explicit matter to give you dopamine to take the edge off of stress and boredom. So it could just be that. And so you have to fill the holes. If you're stressed out, how are you going to offset stress in a healthy way? If you're bored, what are you going to do instead? This is important stuff. So I don't want you to feel lack. If you're bored, go play basketball. If you're stressed, go punch your boxing bag. I even saw somewhere online that they sell these little boxing targets that you can put it right in your kitchen. You don't even need a boxing bag anymore. You can get a little boxing target right in your room, and you can just punch right there. Do what makes you feel good. Like we talked about last week, you have to fill these holes with your favorite hobby so you can get dopamine in really healthy ways from your life. All right, so let's summarize. If you need, want, or desire explicit matter, it's because there's a feeling of lack on the inside and your brain is physiologically wired to get high levels of dopamine from explicit matter. As we unwire your brain, if you can figure out what that lack is and fill it in a healthy way, it's going to be easier for you to leave explicit matter behind for the month of November. Also, at this point, you should be up to a 50% consumption reduction this week coming up. You can do it. If you start putting these things in place, we're going to rock this out. Also, don't forget to like this video. I want to help as many people as possible leave explicit matter behind. When you like it, it helps other people find this video. And subscribe, because for the month of November, there's going to be a daily short that motivates you and gives you a brain hack strategy to keep you going all November long. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can be successful this November. Okay, so to summarize it, we want to fill that lack in a healthy way so you won't need, want, or desire explicit matter anymore. If you're looking for more help on the journey, please go over to drtrishlee.com. And as always, control your brain, or it will control you.